Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Taurus for December 2016. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, see what's new on my blog, and if you're interested in being a coach and having a thriving online business helping people, then you may love my coach certification and online business course, which might still have some slots available depending on when you're watching this. So what is going on in the month of December? The beautiful, harmonious energies of November carry through all month of December. And it's very wonderful because there are lots of beautiful aspects, lots of wonderful opportunities. The energy of December starts to move more into an internal space with giving focus to the past after December 3rd, but I'll give more details about that. First, I want to go into something specific for Taurus energy. I'm calling the theme of this month, just for Tauruses, Leap of Faith, and that is due to the congregation of energies in the ninth house. And this is true whether you have early, middle, or late degree placements. The ninth house, speaking of congregation, is actually the house of spirituality, of churches, of, whatever your belief systems are. It's also the house that's associated with Sagittarius, which is associated with long distance travel, different countries, different cultures, different languages, teaching of any kind, speaking, writing, learning of any kind, gathering information. Very often when people have a lot of energy in this house, they're like crazy for taking in information. They're just voraciously learning. And in some cases, just as quickly turning it around and teaching other people what they're learning, or sometimes they've got to take it in first, or sometimes there's this voracious teaching. It's the energy of taking information in and putting it out. So you could be anywhere on that spectrum. But it's not uncommon for people to go on book benders or have other energies where they're just taking everything in and want to expand their mind and their consciousness as wide as possible. That's why I call this month Leap of Faith, because the energy of Sagittarius is like looking at the world from the viewpoint of a cloud. Or from like where you can see in my picture here, like from a hot air balloon looking down at other hot air balloons, which is where I took this picture from, a hot air balloon. It's like the energy of a hot air balloon. So you look down at everything and you get a totally different viewpoint on a situation, on people, on circumstances, on life, when you look through a wider lens. Taurus energy is very concentrated, very focused. And that's not to say that every person who has their sun in Taurus is like that, because our sun sign is just a very small part of our being. But that's the energy of Taurus. And this energy of Sag wants to take that and look at the bigger picture, bring everything to the bigger picture. So that all of these things are going to have a tremendous focus for this month of December and beyond. Some other things to consider are getting your holiday shopping done by December 3rd. Since the retrograde energy starts to get stronger after December 3rd, you're more likely to find presents that people want that aren't broken, that get delivered on time, that are at a great price, that etc. Just ease in shopping in general. You're more likely to have that experience if you get your shopping done by around December 3rd, because every day that gets closer to December 19th starts to be encased in this Mercury retrograde energy, which becomes the theme from December all the way into May of 2017. So I'm calling the month of December, the general theme of the month of December that will hold true for all signs, gifts from the past. That sweetness that covered November moves into December. We've got so many sweet aspects in the month of December. It's very exciting. So the difference between November and December, since there's a lot of sweetness in both, is that November up until around December 3rd is completely clear for new launches, bringing things out into the world, making big decisions, taking decisive action, anything new. Establishing birth dates for important things like establishing LLCs, getting domain names, anything that you would want to do that has an imprint of something new and moving forward. November has all of that sweetness that is geared towards these launches. However, December, starting after December 3rd, the Mercury retrograde shadow energy starts to seep in, and it begins this very long-term theme through the end of May of 2017 of moving backwards, trying things on, looking back to the past, studying, researching, planning, getting things ready in the backdrop, studying for and to push forward at the end of May, June, July of 2017. So I called this month Gifts from the Past because there's a good chance that a lot of things to help you move forward are going to come from the past, but there are a couple of things to keep in mind. The first thing to keep in mind is that a lot of the transits that are occurring that are so sweet in the month of December involve 60-degree angles. And 60-degree angles are ones that want you to take some action in order to get the rewards. Some aspects like trines, you don't necessarily have to do anything and it kind of just can bring things. And while the 60-degree angle can also just bring something, in order to fully activate the potential, you have to do something with it. So there is action requested throughout the month, but we have to remember two important points. The first is that since this retrograde energy is starting to come in, it's important to not work too hard or push too hard for certain outcomes. It's okay for you to be busy in the backdrop. It's okay for you to be looking forward to a goal out into the future, but trying to get too much done or out in the month of December, there will be roadblocks and you'll have energy that's kind of pushing you back, kind of like the tide. If you're trying to get a boat out and the tide is coming in, you'll start to feel the energy of the tide coming in December, and it will stay in for quite a while. So the second thing to remember is to understand the short-term nature of the transit. And that is true from December all the way through the end of May of 2017. So it doesn't mean you can't do anything for this 6 months. We saw very similar energy last year moving into January through the summer of 2016 because we had Mars retrograde. When we have a succession of personal planets in retrograde, the energy is just sort of not wanting your final product to be pushed out at that time, but you can make plenty of headway. It's just kind of going back and in. So as I mentioned before, like studying, researching, planning, organizing, experimenting, trying things on, moving along a continuum that you've already started. So let's say you launched a blog in November. Blogging throughout December through all these retrograde planets through May is totally fine. You just want your launch of your blog to occur in the good launch time. If you can't launch because you've missed the opportunity to do that, it doesn't mean you can't be working on activating your goal. Now, we'll use the blogging as an example there. Let's say you have this idea for this blog, but you didn't launch it in good stars, but you're excited to get going on it. The best way to handle that is to write your articles, but don't publish them. Get really clear on the direction of your blog and just do all of this work in the backdrop. And then when the stars are good again, next summer or winter for our friends down under, then you can take all the stuff you've done and just post it and push it out. So that's a really good example of what we're trying to do here. A time to try things on. So besides a little bit of challenge in the middle of the month and kind of an overtone of a challenging transit, the rest of the month is super sweet. So for those in the United States or whoever else has holidays at the end of the month, there are beautiful holiday transits all through the end of December. And then at the same time, there's this concurrent theme of Jupiter in Libra opposing Uranus in Aries. So what we need to know about that is that this energy doesn't come together very often. It happens once every 14 years or so. So the theme is necessary change to bring about expansion. Lately, I've been seeing the woodpecker. I always look for the messages that the plants and the animals and whatever else has for me. And this theme of the woodpecker is coming up really strong as I was planning to do these horoscopes. I saw woodpeckers or heard woodpeckers several times in my organizing process for the horoscope. So I feel like it's relevant here. The woodpecker in the Animal Tarot deck that Ted Andrews put together, which I love all of his work, talks about doing things in new and unique ways that are specific to your way of moving in the world. You know, when the woodpecker shows up or this transit shows up, that will be a theme in December. Kind of, it's a challenging theme, but it's happening at the same time as all these other sweet aspects. It's demanding that you figure out how you can do what has to be done in your own unique way. So you might have to break with tradition by using wisdom from the past or intuitive understandings. Some other things that are helpful for this transit are utilizing group connections. The energy really wants this, this connecting with other people. You know, so Uranus rules the internet and it also rules social interactions. So there are many people that have this gap between where they are and where they want to be. And what will fill that gap in is connecting with other people and being part of a group of like-minded people where they can get support, etc. So that's one other way. Something else that is a major theme for this transit is befriending the internet. And if you've already befriended the internet, getting to know more about it and how it can serve your purposes. And that's part of what this clash is about, you know. Many people really need the internet to do what they really want to do, but they're afraid, as you should be cautious, and it's important to be educated. But at the same time, you have to push through that resistance. And this theme of this transit is very much about pushing through resistance. So I'm going to give you the great dates in this month of December. And please note that every date that I give you, you can always have the potential to feel the energy of that transit before or after the actual transit. Okay. And also, if you would like to see why these transits are good and get more information about the month ahead for your planning purposes, definitely sign up for my free email newsletter on my website, anniehelpsyou.com. You get free gifts and you get my newsletter that comes a month early before the upcoming month so that you get more details than I give in the horoscopes about the certain dates and why they're good or why they're challenging. So the good dates for December are the 1st and 3rd. Those are your last good days for launches. 6th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 24th, 25th, 27th, 28th, and 30th. The challenging dates, and some of them are the same, there are other challenging aspects happening on some of these good dates, are, okay, so the challenging dates, 10, 13, 19, 26th, and 28th. Okay, so definitely go to my website, see what's new on my blog, anniehelpsyou.com. If you would love to be a coach and help other people with anything in their lives, spiritual coaching, intuitive coaching, life coaching, abundance coaching, wellness coaching, relationship coaching, diet wellness coaching, you will love my new coach certification course. And there might still be room if you check on the website. This also includes my online business course to help you to do your coaching online. So check it out on my website, anniehelpsyou.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I will see you next year. Bye.